All right, guys. So welcome back to the Barberpvco podcast. I'm your host, Barberpvco. Today's special because I got my brother on the podcast. I've been wanting to have him on a while. Um, his story is wild. He is a fitness coach. He quit his job. He packed up and moved to Florida, which was crazy to me because I don't even have the will to do that. But the move wasn't just about business. It was about getting closer to God and really having a revelation about who He is and what He's supposed to be doing. So today we're gonna be unpacking a story, talking about going in all in on yourself, and I'm also gonna show him, give him a little bit of some tips on what he can be doing for content, and just give him the missing puzzle piece to the puzzle that he needs to reach the next level. So, um, yeah, man. So, what was to start off? What was the moment that actually made you say, I'm done playing small. I'm out to Florida. Like, peace.
But one of the major reasons was because I was working at a company, it was like a dairy company, and I was working 60, 70-hour weeks on a consistent basis. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would call out too, but it would get to a point where it would be on a consistent week to week basis. And it would just drive me crazy. And it's like, there has to be something more. There's no way I'm gonna be doing this till I'm 50. And at the rate I was going, I'm gonna have to be working there till like I'm 70 something if I want to own my own house and retire eventually. So I'm gonna have to be there for a minute, and then that's what made me want to just take a chance on myself and then just really learn a lot about myself as well. Because originally I had a friend who told me about that opportunity, and he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Florida and sell pest control. That's the main reason why I went, to go sell pest control. And then I was like, shoot, then I'll go with you. And then I went. I was there for like 3 months. It was really cool. Learned a lot about people and myself for sure. But I wouldn't do it again. Honestly, it was a big risk because like I didn't know anything about the industry, and then what I did, where I messed up as well is I didn't see the contract fully, to the point where I didn't check the
I
commissions.
mean, at the end of the day, like, aside from the stuff you didn't know, I feel like that's where you learn the most is doing the things that you feel like you're not qualified to do, but you're learning as you go. Like, it doesn't matter if you fucked up and didn't read the full contract. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, you went out there and you tried it at least, because a lot of people, believe it or not, dude, a lot of people want to do stuff, but they don't have the balls to do it. They don't have the balls to do it. Whether if it doesn't work out or not, at least you know, and now you know that Florida isn't for you. How,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But like you've told me before, like, it wasn't just about business. It was actual spiritual shift. And, like, how did getting closer to God change the perspective on the risk and success in yourself?
Oh yeah, that's an awesome question. So how it happened was, the first couple of days knocking, I was getting yelled at. I was getting told
That's crazy.
to get off the doorstep. I was getting cussed out, and it's like, I was like, dude, like, why is this happening? Like, I've been training for this. I should be making sales consistently, and that's what made me want to get closer to God. Like,
I mean, if you really think about it, that the sales isn't really promised. I mean, going into that, I'm
exactly.
sure you knew that going
Yeah,
into.
no, and then that's what I didn't know. That was the crazy part, because me myself, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make all these sales. I'm gonna make all this happen, and then going out there, it humbled me so hard. Like, you have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like a lot of people need to go through these type of experiences and give themselves that credit, because a lot of people have these dreams and aspirations, but they don't want to do them because the number one thing is they're too scared for whatever reason, right? You know, but here you are, you packed your bags and you left, and you tried it at least, and not only did it, change you, but you also got closer to golf. In my opinion, that's a good trade-off.
That's a win-win for sure.
You know,
It was
it,
worth
you
it.
know, it makes it deeper than just I quit my job and I went to Florida and I tried something. Like,
Hmm.
it really was about a calling and a faith. Like, now you're back in the 209, and now you know exactly what to do, in a sense, right? I mean,
I have a better picture of what to do.
like, at the end of the day, no matter what it is, it's always gonna be a risk. No matter what it is. I mean, like, I mean, me and you agree on this. We talked about this plenty of times where staying at your job is gonna be a risk, anyways.
Exactly.
No matter
I
what job
agree.
you're at, it's a risk. So you banking on yourself can actually be a, like in this instance, you didn't really get what you wanted, but you got more than what you bargained for.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, yeah, it does.
You know?
Because honestly, like I lost a lot for sure. The experience was awesome, but more than anything, like getting closer to God was for sure my favorite thing about Florida. Cause
And me being your brother, like I've talked to you a lot about God and in the past and stuff like that, and like hearing you say those things now is like, oh, like now you get it.
yeah, exactly. And it's like I don't know why I thought when you tried to get me closer to God, I was still thinking like, nah, I'm good. It's like
This
I
ain't
try
for
to
me.
do it
Yeah,
without him, and it's like, nah, I just couldn't. Like,
like the flesh wants what it wants, but at the expense of losing yourself.
like I had to lose everything to get closer to him, and if that's what I had to do, then
So be it.
it was yeah, exactly. It was worth it, 100%.
You know.
So, like that's like one thing I had to figure out, and then that was a tough pill for me to swallow because I literally just lost like a cool amount of everything, you know?
I mean, obviously, like you had to dip into your savings, and you had
Yeah, of
to,
course. Exactly. That's one thing I'm talking about. So I had to dip into my savings, and it's like the majority of it. I just didn't know what to expect, daily expenses and stuff like that.
being in Florida. I'm sure it's cheaper than California, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Gas is like three something. I know that's like the biggest thing here. And then when I would talk to Floridians about it, like, hey, how was living in California? Like, bro, it's just
It's
yeah.
like for us that we've been here our lives, we're so used to and accustomed to it. So to us, it's like, what it is, what it is. Fuck it. But to somebody that's not from here, it's a lot. It's a big shift.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so talk to me a little bit about your experience in Florida and doing sales door to door because I mean I've heard from clients and people, especially in the sales industry, that door to door sales is fucking hard.
No, it's difficult for sure. I will say this: the first couple of days were grueling for sure, but every time I would have a tough day, I would have to go harder on training and then asking more questions and just spending more time on the doors
Right.
and actually having conversations with people. Because yeah, you're knocking doors, but you can't count all those hours. I only
Mm-hmm.
counted the conversations and the time I was spending talking to people.
Right.
That's
Right.
what you actually have to like measure, not just the hours knocked, because that's just not realistic. So, honestly, the sales experience I've learned from knocking doors in Florida, it's worth it. I will say that.
I mean, like if you really think about it, like going door to door, it forces you to do something that you're not comfortable doing.
Hmm.
I mean, I could just imagine like, I mean, I can't fucking do that. One, I mean, it took me a while to even get in front of a camera. But I could going door to door. That's another thing. Like, holy shit, you know. So you were what selling pest control
Yeah, pest
essentially?
control. Yeah, I was selling pest control for a company, Aptive, and it is a good company. They have the highest commissions, but I just don't like it just because they cap you out at 38%. I'm gonna be honest, like 38% just wasn't it.
Wasn't your thing?
And then the more you're with them, the higher the commission goes. So that's how they rope you in. You know what I mean? So it's like some people there have been there for like 3 or 4 years, and they're getting like 80% commissions, 90% commissions. You know, right? So
The longer you're there, then it kind of makes
exactly.
up for
And
it.
then honestly, what I don't like about it is when you look at their Instagram and then you see a picture of somebody and then it says 2 million, 1 million, and then that is kind of like it's misleading in a way too. You know what I mean?
You're pulling the curtain behind that because a lot of people. I mean, even for me, like if I were to see something like that, oh, 2 million, holy shit, okay, that's a lot of
Exactly.
money.
And that's how I feel like that's how they got me. So when you see that number, all that isn't going to them. It's going to teams, it's going to daily expenses, and it's also going to
Expenses and all
hmm
the other shit that has to be keep the
yeah,
lights on,
and
pretty
then
much.
exactly like there's commissions, but of
Yeah.
course, like the more you sell, the more you
It's like
earn.
I mean, I guess if I'm looking at it from my perspective, and if I can relate to you in a sense, so it's like when a barber says, "Oh, I'm making 20K." Well, how much of that 20K are you keeping?
It's profit. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
So
how much of that part? Because that, to me, it's like it doesn't matter how much you're making a month. The goal is to keep most of it.
yeah, because I even
You know,
did the numbers myself. For me to make 200 grand, I would need to sell 400 accounts at an average of $900 per contract. So each sale would have to be at least $900. And then me as a rookie, I would only make 18% on the first couple sales, and then they would cap me out at 38%. there's
Damn,
40.
that's fucking
You
crazy.
know what I
That's
mean?
fucking crazy.
So
That's almost nothing. It's literally nothing if you.
it's almost like you have to put in work for the company before they start like giving you more like reps and more like commission.
It almost seems like they're playing the favorites in a sense.
Yeah, in a
You know,
sense,
in a
sure.
sense, right?
And then different situations, different like things. But honestly, if anybody who does it, I recommend saying you have sales experience because they'll straight up bump your commission rate up just off the bat.
Because you say you have sales experience.
Exactly, because there was some people there from different states. They told me they had sales experience and they would get bumped up like 50, 60. So it's like that's like okay.
So you could pretty much lie and say you have sales experience, but you really don't have sales experience, but you kind of just learn on the way in a sense.
Yeah, for
Wow.
sure.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. You know.
Because I to make 200 grand, I would have to sell 400 grand in pest control.
Damn. So you. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
That
200 goes
that's
to
a
them.
that's a crazy perspective because like I was saying, like you see these posts, you see these sales corporations, and they kind of
Yeah.
push these narratives in your face and say, oh, this guy made 2 million, this could be you. Yes, you can make 2 million, but in the course of how many years?
And then another thing too is
Like,
that you don't get paid until the home gets serviced. So what some people would do is they would service the home and then they would cancel right after. So they're only getting a one-time payment off that.
wow.
You know what I mean? So but it looks good on paper. That's how much revenue they made. But how much of that is being
How much of it is still contracted and still
exactly.
continue? It's what
Yeah.
is it called?
In terms of the
MRR, monthly reoccurring revenue.
yeah, like
How much is that still
yeah,
that?
how much are you retaining?
Yeah.
That's where the money
So
is. If you're retaining, then that's fire. But it's
okay.
like if you're not, then on paper it looks like oh he made 200 grand in
Right,
revenue.
right.
But if his retainment sucks, he's only gonna take like a little bit of that.
That's frustrating because um, you're trying to make a career out of this, and then here they are telling you, "Oh, well, just so you know, I'm keeping this much, and you're gonna make this much." That's kind of like fuck. Well,
Exactly.
um, that's so cool. I mean, at the end of the day, aside from the cool part about it is that you know sales now. Like I'm hearing you talk, and it's like okay, like if you were to apply this to your own business, the sky's the limit. So if we're moving on, like I really want to get into fear and the bare minimum, um, because to me, there's two types of people. There's one that's scared but moves anyway, and then there's the ones that think that by doing whatever they're doing is enough, by doing the bare minimum. Like you obviously were scared of going to Florida, right?
Oh, for
Like
sure. Yeah, definitely.
but you moved anyways. You still bet on yourself. Most people stay in the second category. They stay in the bare minimum stage. So like, what fears did you actually have when you actually said, you know what, I'm out?
The fears was not knowing what's gonna happen,
Right.
like not knowing what to expect. I think that's the biggest one. That's like probably the only one. And then because honestly, like I was already knocking doors previously for solar. Yeah, yeah, remember that? Yeah, so I was already knocking a little bit on my own, but it wasn't as frequent as with pest control because I was still working at Saputo. So I kind of had an idea, but even then, like it was a whole different state. Like people, to a degree, like there's bad people everywhere, right? Like people are prejudiced. That's just how it goes. I've had my fair share of those people as well out there. So that I think that's a big one. But honestly, like having that fear, I think that's what made me want to go out there even more as well.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're scared of doing something, that's the universe signaling to you, like this is what you have to do to grow. Because if you weren't scared, you wouldn't want to do it anyways. Right? There's no sacrifice to be made there. So subconsciously, you're not gonna gravitate towards that anyways. You know, um, so like to me, it's like, what would have happened if you would have just stayed and played it safe, like, and just did the bare minimum?
If I would have stayed, it's a good question. I would still be working at Saputo, and the amount of hours I would be getting, I know I wouldn't be able to focus on personal training. Like God has been blessing me with personal training, so
That's good. That's good. See, and like if you want to take it back, like I've been telling you to do this for I don't know how long.
yeah, you haven't. Yeah, I do remember countless
Like
times.
I've told you, dude. Like your thing is fitness. What are you doing? Like it goes back to my coaching when I coach barbers. Like I tell you to do something because I know that this is what you want to do. You told me you want to do this, but then you do the opposite of what you said you want to do. I'm just keeping you accountable at this
Exactly.
point because I see it
That's
all the
true.
time.
That's true.
I see it all the time in barbering. Like one guy raises his prices, he's scared, but does it anyways.
And
Like
then
I was fucking scared when I raised my price to $100, but
I bet.
I did it anyways. My whole life changed because the other guy that keeps charging 25 is hoping something's gonna change and nothing ever does. What's gonna change is literally you saying, you know what, enough is enough. And I think that's what you reach that point where you're like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't be working as a poodles anymore doing this shit, hearing people bitch and complain about their job. Which
Exactly.
is what most people do nowadays.
They do, and it's like that would be their whole identity with it. Like, oh, this is happening. I hate this is going on. It's like, dude, like, I don't want to hear that. Like, just stay quiet. Like, I just
You're here because you want to be here.
exactly like you talking about how your shift is going. Is it gonna help anything?
Right.
Just keep your mouth shut. Like, it would honestly bother me to that point because it's like there's no point in doing that. It's just like either you can just quit or leave, or you just gotta shut up and just do
Yeah,
it.
like I me personally, like I don't like these days. I protect my energy. You know, I protect who I let around my energy, and just by asking certain questions and how I am as a person, like it sucks to say, but like certain people, even just by me being in the room, get very uncomfortable. Why? Because I speak the truth at the end of the day. Like I'm not gonna keep my mouth shut by speaking the truth. Like if someone were to come to me complaining about the situation, I'm gonna ask certain questions. Okay, so how long have you been in this situation? Okay, so it's been a year, 2 years. So now at this point, you're trying to get out. Cool. Okay, so what are you doing to get out of the situation? Oh, nothing. Oh, so then why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? You're not like I see this all the time with the barbers. Like, oh, there's no clientele. There's too many barbers. Okay,
And they try to use saturation as like an excuse.
saturation is bullshit, and here's why. There is no better time to be a barber than right now, and the reason why I say that is because there's so many barbers out, yes, but there's so many barbers out there that are lacking. Like I see barbers all the time, dude. That they'll come to work, they'll book they'll a packed out schedule, right? And they'll cancel the day just because they don't want to work, and then they wonder why their clients go somewhere else. It's like if you're a barber right now that just got out of barber school, stay locked in. Stay locked in because one way or another, a barber that's been in the game for a while, he's gonna slip and fall because he can't control his habits. He cannot control his habits. Most barbers just want to cut hair and go home. What are you gonna do when you have that one barber that's locked in, filming content every single day, promoting himself, posting his stories every single day online, hiring a mentor, doing every single thing to get the most out of his business? Who do you think is gonna win? Come on, dude. It's a fucking it's no, it's a no brainer. Like saturation is bullshit. Like at this point, that's an excuse.
And then me myself, I'm guilty to that too. That's what almost made me not want to go through with personal training as well. Is like, oh, there's too much PTs out there. That's true.
And that also made me almost not want to do coaching because to me it's like, oh, there's a lot of coaches, but to me it's like, well, first of all, I've been coached by some people, and from what I've seen, not everybody likes that person, right? Not everybody likes how that person speaks.
That's another thing too. Is like being like that likability is what sells you as well. It's like, yeah, like if two people have the same offer, but they're gonna go with this person just because of how he acts, how he moves, like what he says, what he does. That's just how it goes. The likability. That's like the biggest thing about sales as well. So
How well can I be liked by somebody, and how can I help myself by allowing myself to be myself? Because that's how you're gonna see if people like you or not. So when you go around, being yourself and saying the truth and shit, sometimes it ends up creating this thing where a lot of people don't like a mirror put in front of them. Like you hold up a mirror and people do this shit, and it's like, dude, like what do you expect? You ask me a question, I'm telling you for real, and you get mad because it's the truth. Like that's on you, dude. Um, so if we're moving on to the turning point to content and coaching, like I thought this would be a good time to bring it up. So like you've already proven that you move across the country just to start fresh. Like that takes balls. Like all you need now is just the world to see it. If you hide, people can't be impacted by your story. Content is how you multiply your faith and lessons and your business. Because at the end of the day, people don't have a business problem; they have an awareness problem. The more people know about you, and the more people know about how cool you are, or how you are as a person, they're gonna want to be around you more. They're gonna want to buy into your systems.
It's like people really underestimate the power of like the digital footprint for sure.
No, 100%, 100%. Like I see all the time the barbers. Oh, it's just social media. Okay, it's hilarious to me.
Exhibit A. Exhibit A.
It's hilarious to me. It's like, dude, you're literally saying no to the work because it doesn't agree with whatever you've been told to do. Like, all right, dude. Like, if you don't want the help, that's on you. You know. So, um, what's it called? If I'm gonna put myself in your position, and if I was a fitness coach, how would I put my story out there? What I would do is I would do talking head videos. I would immediately start with I quit my job, I moved to Florida, and I got closer to God. Here's one thing I've learned, and then go from there. Easy,
I actually
easy,
never thought about that.
easy. Another one is if you're scared to take the leap, listen to this. People are gonna stop what they're doing. They're gonna scroll and like, oh fuck, I wanna know. Like it's literally that easy because most people want things handed to them to where it's almost like it's almost black and white if that makes any
So
sense.
would you say the consistency matters more than the quality when you're first starting out?
Oh, 100% because when you're starting off making content, you don't know what works. So if you can just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, do more of what sticks. I see it all the time, dude. When barbers are posting bullshit, like it's like, dude, why are you posting the same thing? It's like going to the bar, right? Like going to the bar and trying to hit on a girl using the same pickup line, and it doesn't work, but you're still using the same pickup line. That's exactly the same thing with content. You're using the exact same thing, expecting it to work when it doesn't work. Change it up, figure out what works. A lot of the times, and especially nowadays too, we're in the AI era where people are craving more authenticity, and people are more curious than ever. People are always trying to see what you're up to see what you're doing. Like people are more curious than ever, dude. At the end of the day, you know. So, um, what's it called? So it's crazy that like I'm here talking to you, and the people are gonna be watching this, and they're gonna be like, oh damn. So if he quit his job and he moved over to Florida, why can't I do it?
Yeah. Even if it doesn't go your way, I mean, it's better than to just take the chance. Like, honestly, would you rather have the regret? Like, it's all about perspective. I just didn't want that regret of like, dang, I wish I would have went to Florida. Even though it didn't go my way, I don't have the regret. To me, not having the regret was worth more.
Right. No,
That's
hundred
just how it
percent.
goes.
Yeah.
Perspective is what matters.
So how would you say like your story applies to someone who wants to get in shape but is scared to start?
Um, so if you want to start, the best way to go about it is don't go at it with perfection. I want you to go with it with consistency first. So an example would be like me, like I started when I started losing weight, I would do 7,000 steps a day to start off with, and then I would do 10,000, 12,000, 14. Because if I started off at 15, or let's say even 20,000, like it's not ideal and realistic to start off from if you're just starting out. So just those little small wins lead to the end goal of where you're trying to get to.
No, 100%. Um, like if I'm gonna add a layer to that with content, like what I would use the same thing with consistency. Like you really want to post at least 4 to 7 times a week, once a day. Like the games have changed a lot since then. So like now on Instagram you have to be posting 3 to 5 times a day. On TikTok 5 to 7 times a day. Like that's a
That's
lot.
what I'm saying. And then when you told me that, it's like there's no way. Like I'm gonna have to be like,
Like I think this week alone I'm already at 14 posts already.
yeah, see, and it's like,
It's crazy. Like I know how to produce content. It's just figuring out when to do the content is my issue because I have kids. Like my thing too is like if you have no kids and you're by yourself, there should be no issue on why you can't be making content. At this point, you're just using a fucking excuse for no reason, in my opinion. Um, Like, what is the number one lie do you think people tell themselves when it comes to change? Or it could be anything. It could be fitness. It could be weight. It could be whatever it is. What is the number one lie do you feel like you hear a lot?
I think the biggest lie would probably be is they're saying a bunch of stuff to the point where they're stuck. It's like they get analysis paralysis to the point they don't even know what to do.
Right.
So, and honestly, even me myself, I invested in a coach, and some people see that as like a waste of money.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a waste of money at
No.
all. It's
No.
just people that already experienced what you've been through is going to give you a shortcut to where you're trying to get.
Yeah. Like what can take you 5 years can take you 6 months because you hired a coach.
Exactly. And then I feel like that's where people miss that value.
Like to me, like because I've had multiple coaches in my career. I have maybe solid like maybe 4 or 5, and one thing that I've learned is the coaches make less than you do. If you really think about it, you're paying them whatever 5 grand, 20K, whatever. You're gonna be making way more than that.
Mhm.
So the coaches always get the short end of the stick, but I get it. In the beginning, you eat that money, but it's an investment for yourself later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of barbers think that like, oh, if I join a course, what's it called? I'm guaranteed results. No, what guaranteed results is your outputs, your outputs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like whatever that's the only thing you can control is your outputs. The outcome of your outputs is literally how much of the quality of the outputs are. So it sucks because me that I'm a coach and I try to help out barbers. Most barbers they will say that it's a waste of money. It's just be at the shop all day, dude. You could be at the shop all day all you want, but you're not gonna make more than what you're making now. Like I could just imagine being stuck at $40, $50 a haircut, doing 20 haircuts a day. That's fucking miserable.
Exhausting.
When you could do just 10 haircuts at $100, when you could do 10 haircuts at $100 and you'd be straight. That's $1,000 a day. Why wouldn't you want more? To me, it's like what? How much money can I make on a consistent basis, opposed to one day I'll make $500, the next day I'll make 200. Oh, this day I made $100. The tomorrow I make 200. No, I want $1,000 daily. How can I? That's more sustainable than having 32 haircuts one day and 42 haircuts the other day. Hey, Barber fam, I really hope you're enjoying this conversation as much as I am. But real quick, if you're a barber struggling to get new clientele online or struggling to shoot content, the whole thing just feels like guesswork to you. There's literally no need to guess anymore. I built my own school platform where I show you exactly how to shoot content, what angles work, and how to study other people's content. That way you're not doing the guesswork anymore. So if you're done struggling, feeling stuck, click the link in the description down below and let's grow together. Back to the conversation. Okay, you were saying?
But yeah, like even when you say that price, $100 for a haircut, it's almost like people aren't confident enough to stand by their work to the point where they didn't even have that belief to move up their price, so they're just stuck. Like the belief has to be there, you know?
Yeah, I know. Like you can't like I mean I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I went up to I think my first price raise when I joined up into mentorship, I went up to 50, and everybody told me that I was fucking crazy. Like this is what happened when I went up to $50. Literally, everyone was like, "Oh, no one's gonna want to cut their hair no more. You're gonna lose all your clientele." And here's the truth: with no, even adding $5 to whatever you're charging now, you're gonna lose clients. Because if you're at 25, you probably had the bottom of the barrel clients. $5 to a cheap client is like $500. Like it sucks to say, but it's the truth. So when I went up to $50, I lost 40% of my clientele, but I kept 60% and I gained new ones that were trying to get in with me for like the longest because I was already booked up. But what was weird is I made the same, if not a little bit more, and I worked less and I had more time with my family. I had more time to make content. I had more time to invest into myself because that's essentially that's why we do what we do. We make more money to show up better for our family. It's all it is. But like how he was saying, like how my brother was saying, when you charge these higher prices, you have to say it with your chest. You can't just be like, oh, it's gonna be $100. No, it's gonna be $100, bro.
Non-negotiable.
It's $100.
Boom.
And of course, your work has to have weight to it too. You can't just like do 30-minute haircuts. Like that's my thing too. Is like you can't just do 30-minute haircuts at these higher price points. That's a huge debate online right now too. Is haircut should be 30 minutes and should it be charged more than $1 a minute? Okay, so if I do $60 60 at an hour, then I should be good then. Yeah, I guess in that theory, yes. But my thing is, um, I literally just had a brain fart. But my thing is, like, how can I make my services like it all really goes down to the consultation. It all goes down to how you treat your clients. The everything has to elevate, not just you when you charge that much for a haircut. You know, especially like the time for a service. Like you go from 30 minutes, you go to an hour. An hour should be the standard for a haircut, in my opinion, because to me, when you do an hour, you have time to do content. You have time in case you're late, in case the client's late. You have time to clean up your like. You're not rushing. Like what do you like? It's your business. Why do you want to rush your business? Like that's my thing. You know what I mean? So I get the shit all the time. Like I personally for me, I don't want someone rushing my haircut. That's just my thing. I don't know about you, but
No, yeah,
I
I
don't
wouldn't
want
want that either. Mm-mm.
you know. So that's the number one thing that I constantly hear. Haircut shouldn't be this much, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, fine. There is people in your price range. Like stop crying about it. It's just my thing, you know. Like I'm not gonna just cut your hair and then say all right bye. Like no, that's not how this works. Like I'm gonna treat you like family. I'm gonna make sure you're in the chair, in and out of the chair, and at a good time. You know, it's not like I'm just charging you because I want to charge you 100. No, it all comes down to my work ethic and how long I've been in the game. I've been cutting hair for like 15 years.
And that's another thing too. I feel like people don't appreciate the little things as well. Being as friendly as ever,
No,
offering a
yeah, no,
good
100%
service,
no. No, and then another thing too that a lot of people don't understand is um a lot of barbers actually ask me is like, "Oh, like are your clients picky?" And I'm like, "No, because when and this is with I feel like this is with anything. The more you pay for something, the more you value it, and the more you and there's more trust involved when you pay for these type of things. So when I get clients that are like quote unquote picky, they're not that picky as you would expect. I honestly I've gotten more clients that were pickier at 25 than clients at $100. Clients are way more picky at 25 because they're trying to get their value at 25. Like it sucks to say, you know. But but moving on though, I definitely want to really like elaborate on what you should be doing as far as like for content stuff like that. Like so you get the story, but you aren't sharing it. Like that's cool that you actually were able to move to Florida and like you know
Yeah,
do
yeah. Because I went at first. I flew to Utah and then we drove out there. It was me and a couple buddies. That's how it went. Because it was a bunch of team. It was a big crew, as a team, and then we all trade places. We all took turns driving all the way to
right.
Florida. So from Utah, we went straight to Florida, and then but the culture is awesome. I will say that like the people are cool. Everybody's really nice. Like really motivating, but it just wasn't a good fit. And then even if it didn't go my way, I'll never ever ever take it as a loss ever.
No, 100% because like at this point
It
like
just wasn't a good fit.
no, yeah. At least now you know that it's not for you, and you don't need to. I mean, would you go back? Probably just to visit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah,
to visit.
that's pretty much it. But so yeah, if you had to record one video today, what would your message? Fuck. So if you had to record a video today, what would your message be to someone that's stuck playing small?
Stop playing small. Mm, well, first I would write down the stuff that I'm good at and the stuff that I'm bad at, and then from there, this is a post
Yeah, and like for you.
like for my content.
Yeah, yeah, for your content. Like, what is one thing you would tell somebody that's playing small that they want to like elevate their game?
I'd say, look, anybody out there who wants to accomplish anything big, you have to think big. No one ever got anything done by thinking small.
That's that's true. That's very true. And then another thing that I want to add to that before we wrap this up is think as big as you can and even think bigger than that. Because if you allow yourself to think small, that's all you're ever gonna be. Just letting you know. You
Exactly.
know. So if someone is listening to this right now, if someone is listening to this right now and you're stuck in fear, whether it's business or fitness, I want you to understand something. You already have what it takes inside of you. You don't need nothing more. I mean, take it from my brother. He went to Florida on a whim and decided that this is what he wanted to do, and he came back and now he knows what he has to do.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's the essence of it all. Cause like not like searching the unknown, not knowing what to expect, like going through hardship, going
Yeah.
through difficult things. And honestly, I think you have to experience the bad to experience the good of something great. You know, like your business, you have to go through the bad and then go through all the good.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes, and
Yeah.
that's what's important.
Yeah.
And going through that hardship, I think it just really makes you a better person all around. So it's honestly a win-win all around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not a day goes by that I don't regret taking a bet on myself because I was able to create something. I mean, I'm still creating. I'm doing it. I was able to generate $25 haircuts to $100 haircuts. I mean, it took me a while, but I mean, I'm doing it. So if I can do it, if we can do it, why can't you? It's all the mindset at the end of the day. And then one thing I can say is stop hanging out with people that don't have the life that you want. You know, as an entrepreneur, your energy is everything. Your energy is everything. Your outputs are everything. So if you're hanging out with five, I'm gonna use that generic. I'm gonna use a generic quote. Like if you hang around with five losers, you're gonna be the sixth one. If you hang around with five millionaires, you're gonna be the sixth one. It's the truth. Like all those corny cliches, they're 100% correct, true.
Yeah,
Like they're not. Yeah, you know.
of course, I agree.
So whatever you guys gain from this podcast episode, I want you guys to leave it down in the comments down below. We would love to have a conversation with you and share your wins daily. Where you can find us, I'll definitely tag my brother's Instagram if you guys want to get coaching from him. If you're a barber out there and you want to get coaching from me, I'll definitely tag everything you needed to know in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, the biggest takeaway though is think big. You have to. No one's gonna get anywhere without thinking big, monumental, huge.